Have you heard we've got goats? Stay tuned and I'll explain more and give you a little bit of an update. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. We're a small, modern homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. In yesterday's video, or the video preceding this one, I introduced me driving to California and purchasing this Nubian doe who is pregnant and papered. I got a good deal on her. She was $100, so I brought her back to the homestead. And I wanted to remind my viewers that I built my barn specifically for milk goats. And so now I've got the goat. And like I said in the bumper, have you heard I've got goats? So I want to emphasize on two words here, herd and goats. This morning while I was answering some emails from viewers who have a lot more experience in goats than I do, I've raised goats years ago when the kids were little. We had some Nigerian dwarfs we had them for about 3 years, and then we went to Nubian herd, and we had these Nubians for a good 4 or 5 years, and then I had a Nubian cross boar up here at the homestead for a short time. And we really wanted to get a milk goat, so I found this really good deal. So while I was answering questions to my viewers who have a lot more experience with raising goats, and they were expressing their concern about a lone goat, well, I was very aware of goats being a herd animal and needing a buddy. And I knew the pigs aren't a good surrogate for a herd for goats, and I really wanted my doe to not be stressed out because she is pregnant, and I wanted her to settle down. So what I did is I went ahead and moved my pigs over to the other pasture farther away from the pen, so they're nowhere near the pen. She calmed down, and while I was answering emails, I was also had been earlier looking for another goat to be a companion with this one. Well, as it happens, I found this little guy. He's a Nigerian dwarf. He's 3 months old. I paid $50 for him, and he didn't have to come very far, just 2 miles. I found the people who were selling him on Craigslist just 2 miles down the road, so yeah, it worked out perfect. I answered your emails and I took off, dashed out the door, and went and purchased this little fellow. So I'm introducing him to you guys today. His name is Jacob. Her name is Aunt B. So there you go. As far as goats being alone, I've seen many examples of people having one lone goat for years, and the goat thrived just fine. I've been seeing a goat by itself for quite a few years down the road. Actually, there's 3 goats coming up the road from our little village, and they've been alone by themselves for years. But as far as stress goes, you know, it was apparent she was really stressed because of the long trip up and being in a new environment and being around these strange beasts. I would even be nervous being around a strange beast I've never heard, seen, or smelt before either. So we've got them both segregated. They're together in this paddock so they can't get out. I've got my whole property surrounded with a field fencing, and it's been successful at keeping predators out. And I've also got an electrical wire going across the top of that that perimeter fence, and about this far from the bottom of the perimeter fence. My pasture is cross-fenced with just nothing but electrical fencing. I will be changing that out eventually when I get the funds to be able to buy the field fencing, and then I'll just supplement the field fencing with the electrical wire to kind of remind the animals don't press against these fences. Having goats for so many years, I was successful at containing my goats with just 5 strands of electric wire, and they did pretty good. They respected the fence. Now in the spring and going into the summer times, goats are horrible on any kind of fence. If you've noticed, in the winter months the goats would put on their winter fur or hair, and then in the spring, summer, they're going to be rubbing on that fence really hard to try to rub some of that excess fur off. But with this pasture, they've got lots of nice rough oak trees to be able to rub on and stay away from the fences. So a scratching post, itching post is best to have in a pasture for your farm animals, especially in the fall and summer. Yeah, she's calmed down. He's suffering a little bit of separation anxiety from his mama. And, but now you can see where she's just totally seems content now. I want to be able to come out here and spend some good time with the little buckling to get him acclimated to human contact, because eventually he is going to my daughter's homestead a mile down the road. That's right, Jamie is moving to her new homestead today. So we've got that business to take care of too. We got to load a bunch of stuff in the truck and haul it down there. But she's got a big grassy field, and he'll be content to be out there mowing grass or just foraging, because goats are a foraging animal. They're like deer. They'll forage on branches, twigs, leaves, grasses, weeds. They love weeds, blackberries. Whereas a sheep it will graze on grass. So goats are a little bit different. And as you can see from my pasture, there's plenty of variety for them to source from. So I really do want to give a thanks to my viewers who genuinely had some really good ideas, and believe it or not, I gleaned from your ideas, because in some of that I'm learning things I didn't know. So please keep commenting and keep instructing, because that benefits all of us homesteaders, because a lot of us do not know anything about goats. Like I just had a subscriber a comment that she wants to get goats, but she knows nothing about them. So I recommended that she network with one of you guys who know about goats, and you're able to pass on your wealth of wisdom and experience to that person and help them become successful homesteaders with goat herds. As I claim in the descriptions below, I don't claim to be an expert on anything, but I'm learning as I go, especially from the University of YouTube. And oh, be careful what you learn on the University of YouTube. There's a lot of crap on there. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. But anyway, you know what I mean. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, because I am reading your comments and I am paying attention to what you're saying, as long as it's constructive criticism. I do not mind constructive criticism. Anybody who criticizes just for the sake of criticizing, I think you're a troll, so I just delete your comment altogether. I just don't put up with that kind of stuff. Ooh, I heard a deer. And she noticed the deer too. Also, you could follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, and Blogger. I keep forgetting I need to not say Google Plus, because I heard Google Plus went bye-bye because of some fiasco they had. But follow us on those other platforms anyway, and please share the videos. They help out the channel. And I want to remind you, this is a channel I'm inviting you guys to come in and share with you guys my adventure of learning how to homestead. Sometimes I don't do it right, but I'm transparent enough to admit, hey, don't do this. I screwed up. So I'm keeping it real, folks. We'll see you guys in more videos. Bye-bye.